YouTube. I want to tell you this story about a friend of mine in prison named Shannon and this new guard. Well, they had this new guard start working, a redhead, female, and Shannon was just, he was stricken with her, you know, and so he gets talking to her and they get in a relationship, and they get caught. So they fire her. He goes to the hole for a little while, and at that time, this was in Farmington Correctional Center, I was the lead man of the house. You know, we all had to clean up the house, you know, that was workers there. And so I was the lead man. So he comes to me and he says, and I had all my friends working. So he comes to me and says, hey, can you give me a job here in the housing unit? So I talked to the sergeant, evening sergeant, and they hired him. Well, a couple days later, the day sergeant comes on and calls me to the bubble. Says, look, I don't care who you pick as a worker, but he is not working. He is blackballed from every job in this prison. I said, why? You know, I already knew why. They said he's just blackballed, you know. He's not working in this housing unit. And so it didn't matter where he tried to go, kitchen, anywhere, they would not hire him, you know. And the thing about it is you had to have a job. And if they didn't, if you couldn't find one, they'd put you in food service, you know. That food service wouldn't even take him. It was the craziest thing I ever saw. Now, he wasn't too crazy about working in food service, but, you know, he tried to get a job there, and they just wouldn't hire him. But him and this CO, they end up getting married, you know, and all the staff, they did not like it at all. You know, they did not like him. You know, they thought he played her, you know, but I don't think he did. I think it was one of the few cases where there was a real relationship. You know, in most cases, the guy's just in it for sex, you know, and maybe the female too. But and you know, they almost always get caught, you know. If nothing else, somebody tells on them because they're jealous. But and most times it's a sexual thing, you know. But I believe this time it was really, you know, they had something going on, you know, a real thing. But I want to tell you this other story that's, oh no, this while I was still there and I was still leading into that house, but everybody that worked in that house was partners of mine, you know, workout partners, people I hung around with, and it just so happened that they were all white. You know, I have nothing against blacks, you know. If I'd had a black friend in there, I would, and he wanted a job, you know, I would talk to the sergeant about hiring him. But so this sergeant comes in and he says, Seidel, come here. He says, there's been complaints that this is it's all white, you know, and we need to have black people. And I said, oh, that's cool. And he goes, I got somebody right here. Now, we was just finishing up. We was almost done. And there's this list of things to be done. And each day, somebody else has something else different to do. One day you may clean the showers, the next day you sweep the floor, the next day mop the floor. You know, it just, you rotate it. So nobody would have the same thing to do every day, you know. One of the things to do is our doors have these brass handles on them, but everybody called them knobs. And this sergeant, there was a contest between the housing units who had the cleanest house, and this sergeant was particular about these brass knobs, handles, whatever you want to call them. You know, he wanted them clean, shiny. He didn't want them turning dull or green or whatever, you know. So that was one of the things that we had to do. And so this black guy who I'd seen, but I really didn't know, he says that, yeah, you know, when the sergeant hired him right there, you know, when I said it was okay, he said, yeah, give me something to do. I said, well, we're about done, you know, so why don't you just start tomorrow? He goes, no, man, tell me what to do. I said, I don't tell any convict what to do, you know, I just don't. And he goes, well, you're the lead man. He goes, no, I ain't tripping off that shit. Just tell me what to do. I said, I'm telling you, I don't tell you what to do. I said, these guys up here, they already know their job. I said, if they're not doing it, I'm not going to tell them to do it. I don't, that's not how I work, you know. And he said, man, and this goes on for like 5 minutes. He says, just, is there anything that needs to be done? And I said, well, there is one thing. But I said, like I said, we're about done, you know. And he goes, I don't care, you know, you guys can go ahead and do whatever, you know, go outside, whatever, I'll do whatever it is that needs to be done. I said, well, you could polish some knobs. And he said, what the fuck did you say, white boy? And everybody was laughing. The sergeant and all the other guys there. And I said, hold up, you misunderstood me. He goes, man, he says, I'm fixing to beat your ass. I said, no. And so the sergeant and I explained what I meant, right? He goes, man, them are not knobs, them are handles. I said, I know, but everybody calls them knobs. And he said, man, you need to learn how to word things. And that was a good point in that case, because he was mad. I mean, I swear I did not say it like that on purpose. I really meant that the door handles. I wasn't talking anything funny. I don't like playing the freaks, you know. I don't like getting into that. But anyway, I thought you guys might enjoy that one. And thank you for watching. You know, if you like it, hit the like button. If you're new, subscribe and hit the notification bell. And share this video. And I hope everybody had a good Father's Day, who are fathers out there, you know. Happy Father's Day to y'all. You know, hope you have a good day. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.